Lyca Radio, Doni Brasco, we've got probably the biggest thing, bigger than chapatis. I should say bigger than jalebis right now. Make some noise for Tesher in the building.
What's up, man? Happy to be here.
Lyca Radio.
How you doing, bro?
I'm doing so good, man. I got my English tea. First time in Britain.
I made sure it was English tea.
Yeah.
I made sure it's English tea.
Yeah. No, I'm feeling good. It's good.
Bro, I just want to say first things first. It's a big honor to have you here at Lyca Radio. I think for the here at Lyca Radio, we have the generation of listeners that listen more to the old school sort of Bollywood vibe.
Yeah.
And when I was looking into your history, you've been into this. You've been making music or DJing since what, 14?
Yeah, younger, like
was it younger?
10 or 11, 12, kind of around there.
And
Yeah.
it's quite interesting. I didn't know you were a DJ. I'm a DJ, so when I heard you were a DJ, I was like, oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
And then you made me feel inferior because not only DJ, you drop bangers like the ones that you've been dropping. It's a big deal to have you today as well. I know it's more for the youth. Everyone knows you. Like everyone in the youth knows you. I think a big moment was when you walked in. There's a guy, Bully Brumbet. Even he knew of you, and his granddaughter loves you, and big respects.
Wow.
So just thank you very much for joining us today as well. And it's a real pleasure to have you.
The pleasure is all mine. I wanted to make sure I was able to see as many people and come into the radio stations and just to show my love to the UK as the UK has shown love to me.
Oh, do you know what? I was really nervous meeting you. I thought this guy, he's just gone from here to here to here. Like even the first thing, I think you done a remix, the Bhangra remix for Key and Car, and Alia Bhatt danced to it.
Yeah, that was wild.
When was that? What year was that?
It was 2016. It was 2016. Yeah, it was funny. Like I was still I was in university at the time, and I took a few days off of school too, just because I didn't want to. I had to just get this mix done. But that's when Sony had approached me. They're like, "Hey, we got this song, Kar Gayi Chul, and we want you to do the official."
With Badshah was on.
Yeah,
it well,
it was a Badshah song, and they're like, "We want you to do the official Bhangra remix to that." And I was like, "All right." That was the first time I had any kind of official industry player kind of reach out to me, and that was a really cool moment. It was I think they had it on the soundtrack, and then Alia Bhatt performed to it at a Miss India pageant. And the way, it was funny, the way it happened, that I found out about it is that I was out still at university, and my family in my home city, they're just had the TV on, and it was it's a Miss India pageant, and Alia Bhatt comes out to perform, and then they start performing, and my sister and my mom are in the kitchen, and they see this happen. And the funny thing about that remix is, right before the drop, there's a voice that goes, "Okay, let's go." That's my sister.
Yeah, I heard your sister. What happened? You just needed a voice.
I needed the voice, and I was like, I just hear, as you make music, you draw on the influences around your life, and I'm like, it'd be really funny if I had Neha's voice going, "Okay, let's go." It's a fun song, so I think it'd be fun to have her in there. And so it was hilarious just seeing Alia Bhatt come out, and she's like, "Okay, let's go." And my sister's like, "That's me. That's my voice." So it was a cool moment for the whole family. Yeah.
Oh man, can I just ask? So, being very inquisitive, you're young. You're making these. How is Sony contacting you? How do they find you? Yeah. You're making these mixes. How?
You just make noise on the internet. You just got to be, obviously do what you want and enjoy your whole music process. And for me, that was making remixes, making beats, all that kind of stuff, putting on YouTube and SoundCloud and all of that. And I guess they just wanted to find somebody who had their pulse on the culture and was able to create something different. And they saw my stuff. I know what they did see that they that made them want to specifically come to me. It was a remix I did of "Sorry" by Justin Bieber. It was a Bhangra remix of that I did, that they said, okay, he can take a song that is already kind of like a party song, but then bring it to that next level with that kind of folk feeling. So yeah, I think that's how it happened. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a lot of hustling, a lot of grinding. You just got to keep going and keep pushing, and then if you're good, eventually it'll shine through. Yeah.
No, I mean, I think what put you on the map for me is when you done the Ramta Jogi mashup. I think when that dropped through, it was because the style was, and I looked into it. You were making country music.
Yeah.
Was it country music?
Absolutely. Well, yeah. So where I'm from a city called Regina in Canada. It's a city that rhymes with fun, and we just have a strong country music vibe around that. We call it the prairies of Canada. It's the middle three provinces or states in Canada. mostly, when people think of Canada, they've got Ontario on the one side, that's
Yeah.
like Toronto. And then on the other side, it's British Columbia, which is Vancouver, Surrey, all that kind of stuff. I'm right in the middle of Canada. And so country's a big vibe out there. And all my friends were into it. And with music, I get bored very quickly with music. I feel like it's just a little bit of ADHD a little bit, but I just want to do something different and unique every single time. And also I just love doing things that people say you can't do. Because I know that if I can do it, then I can prove people wrong. And that's always a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
And for a long time, it was a common stigma that's like, you should not be mixing rap music with country music. A part of it's just white people being pissed off and wanting their music to themselves.
Yeah, of course, like purists, isn't it? They don't want it.
exactly.
Yeah, they don't want it.
Yeah, and part of it's just like people not being open to new ideas. So what I did is I made a couple of mixtapes where I would just remix country music with rap music and other house music, other genres as well. And I just did it for fun, mostly just for my friends to play at parties. And they ended up really taking off mostly across the United States, particularly the Southern United States. And it was really funny because at the time, everybody just wanted me to make more country music and country remixes. And then when I started going back towards Bollywood, a lot of those fans were like, oh man, what is he doing? So that's just a key. Don't listen to your fans all the time. Do what makes you happy and you got to move forward.
That's a big, I was going to ask for some inspirational quotes, but that's a big one there.
Yeah.
Do what makes you happy. The country music that you made as well, is it all on Spotify or can we all listen to it?
No, that's like...
Is that hidden?
It was all, it was all remixes and mashups back. This is like 2013, 2014. This is the formative years.
Right.
I feel like it's somewhere on the internet now. And I feel like, as soon as things started to blow up with the Young Shahrukh and Jalebi Baby, a lot of my illegal stuff got kind of taken down. I feel like the labels were paying a bit more attention to me. Like, wait a second, he shouldn't be able to do this. How did he even do this? So a lot of that stuff got taken down. But, if you look in the right places, you can find it.
Some purists. I'll have to dig proper crate deep to get some of those out as well.
Yeah.
There's a few things I was going on. You mentioned Young Shahrukh Khan. I think again that's being a DJ. Like a lot of the younger DJs that I was working with, or that I was DJing with, or that would come around my house and create with the videos. They started playing this Young Shahrukh Khan tune. So now I'm sitting there, this young guy's coming, they know I'm playing all the Asian hip hop, all the stuff that comes through. Yeah. They come through with this thing and I'm listening to this song for the first time. I forget what DJ it was. I want to say Kesh, but he comes up to me, plays this song, and I heard the production quality of it. It was phenomenal. It was really good. The hook was really good. And I sat there and I think just the way my brain works is how do you get clearance for such a big song, right? Like Bole Churia. Yeah. How do you get away with calling your song Young Shahrukh Khan?
Yeah. Honestly, the answer is in the chorus of the song. It's trying to make a play, trying to make it happen. That's what that song really was. It was just me really just trying to go for it. I was at a point in my life at that point. It was February 2020. This is right before the pandemic. My friend Howard, I'll never forget this. I have a friend named Howard. He always just cuts through the BS and always just says what's on his mind. And I was home for the holidays and he tells me, he's like, Tesh, man, when are you gonna be famous? he's like, bro, you've been making music. When are you gonna be famous?
Howard.
And I'm like, come on, man. But it got me thinking. I was like, I've been experimenting for so long. But I've been doing the mashups. I've been doing the remixes. I'm making beats. I'm rapping. Let's just try to make something that's going to is me as a primary artist, not just a guy behind the boards, but a full package. How's that going to sound? And I say this like it was a big plan. When I made the actual Young Shahrukh song, I just freestyled it one night after coming home from a Toronto Raptors NBA game. I did the first minute of the song there. And then I put it on my Instagram just as a little random video, and it got such a huge response. And I'm like, okay, I think this is going to be the one. I'm going to put everything into it, and I'm going to put it out and try to market it to the best of my ability. And it ended up just taking off.
So what was really interesting, the amount of people trying to tag Shah Rukh Khan and send it to him. Yeah. Was this a calculated move?
It not really, but because at the end of the day, when I was trying to finish the song and I was writing the song, I'm like, okay, I'm describing all of these moments in my life in Toronto that make me feel like I'm a really cool guy. Whether it's just with my friends speeding down King Street in Toronto, or we're at the club we have bottles and we're having a great time, we're partying, or we're seeing girls late at night, all that kind of stuff that's just a part of being a young 20-something-year-old in Toronto. It just makes you feel like you're the coolest guy. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I've got the Bully Chudia sample in there. What's going to be the way that it's, you know, and knowing my audience as well, it's going to be primarily South Asian audience that listens to English music, basically me. Yep. So to that audience, who's the coolest guy? I feel like Shah Rukh Khan, because there's only one King Khan. It's the easiest way, honestly, the most obvious way to like encapsulate that feeling to the generation that I'm speaking to, right? Because my generation, all the Bollywood movies we grew up with, we have that image of Shah Rukh Khan as like, you know, we think of Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum, Kal Ho Na Ho, Veer Zara, Dawn, right? All of those kind of moments. So it just felt like the most obvious thing to do.
Go with Shah Rukh Khan.
Yeah.
Has he ever commented on it to you?
He, you know, I will say he did reach out once.
Did he?
He did. And he was very kind. And he said, I love the song and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, no, he was really dope about it, for sure. I was a little worried at first that maybe he's going to be like, oh, he's calling me old Shah Rukh because I'm the young Shah Rukh or something like that. I was like, I hope you're not thinking that, man. Oh, wow. But no, he was real cool about it.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. Have you met him yet?
No, I mean, I went to India only once for like a quick, like 24 hours in and out. I had a little show to do, a little private gig, but I haven't like had like proper time in India. So it's like, I've just gone to the UK. Next step is I got to go to India.
There's so much to do right now as well. Yeah, no, definitely. I absolutely love that song. I think it was amazing. Young Shahrukh Khan was the Ramta Jogi as well. You've done the Young Shahrukh Khan. You released that snippet, extended the song. Yeah. So now you're working on This Way. Now comes Jalebi Baby. Yeah. So you put, again, that was another short snippet that you made.
Yeah, well, I mean, it started off as just like a remix that I made with Yummy by Justin Bieber. And then I just had, before I dropped the remix, I was like, let me just put my own voice on here. Yeah. Honestly, what my plan back then was that I was going to do this Yummy remix. And at the original version of that remix, at the very end, I have the whistle from Mehuna. Right at the very end, na, 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 na. And the only reason I put it in there, no one actually knows this. I don't think anyone caught it either. I put that in there to tease what the next song was going to be, Young Shahrukh. Right. But anyways, the part of that song that ended up going viral was just my parts of me rapping and the baby let me see it, and the first verse, you got what I wanted, Sony. And so that's what kind of caused me to have to look at that and try to make a full song out of it, because I was like, I can't just have like a 30-second snippet and tour off of that. Yeah. So I mean, it's funny because like I did that Yummy remix. I dropped that January of 2020, and then the full Jalebi Baby didn't come out until November of 2020 because Young Shahrukh had hit first. Right. Well, I mean, like Corona had happened and all that, and then Young Shahrukh, Old Town Road, Ramta Jogi had happened first, and then Young Shahrukh had happened. And then I was like, hey, what's next? We'll do Jalebi Baby. Honestly, I didn't even think Jalebi Baby was going to go as astronomically big as it did. I thought when I dropped it at Diwali, it was more like a Diwali gift, because I thought people were over it, honestly. I thought that everybody was just good with that little 30-second sound. And I'm like, I'll just do the full version for people to enjoy during Diwali time. And Eid was around the corner too. So we'll put that out and it'll be good. And then next year I'll move on to something else. And the exact opposite happened. It just got bigger and bigger and started blowing up in more places. And here we are.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting in a world where things are very fast to be forgotten. Yeah. You've extended the life of Yummy to Jalebi Baby to the version with Derulo. Yeah. And I think you've done language version, you've got the English version going as well, which was quite interesting. What happens? So you made Jalebi Baby. That's popping. Everyone loves it as it is. It's getting played on the dance floors. Yeah. It's now been out, what you're saying, about 7-8 months?
Well, like you're talking until we did the new version?
Until the new version came. What was the time frame between?
So like we did the original version, we dropped that November of 2020. And then the time until the version with Jason Derulo, that was May of 2021.
So we're looking about, what, 5 months?
Yeah, something like that, yeah. So in that time, it just like, what started to happen was it was blowing up, not only in the South Asian community, but it started to make its way out of the South Asian community and blowing up in places like Turkey, big in Turkey, Moldova, Eastern Europe, of course, Dubai, Saudi Arabia, like Tunisia, random places in Africa. It was like the #1 song in Chad. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and it was like, what the heck
So
is
these,
going
I'm
on?
guessing, are these just, it's going to a global market, or is it Asians in different countries that are listening to it?
It was, I think the thing that happened was it was blowing up on TikTok. And it was just, it wasn't even the Asian market anymore. It was like, it was big. There were trends with the song in different places. Like there was like a Fortnite trend where people would just put like their Fortnite montages to like Jalebi Baby in the back. There was a trend where people would do like anime dances. And that was a trend in itself. There was a trend obviously in the South Asian community where people would just like dance to the song and like they would do an outfit change. It was just, it had a life in so many different niches that kind of culminated into the song just being big. There was not like one single like thing that was making that song like, oh, this is the trend for that song. And I think that's what kind of gave it a lot of life, because it was finding a life in different places at different times, but all kind of around the same time.
How does it feel now? You're, again, like you're saying, I don't think you have a plan of how big a song's going, because you can't imagine how big a song's going to go.
Yeah.
You just make what you love.
Yeah, you just got to do.
So how does it feel when you're sitting there and you're seeing thousands of videos coming up with your song?
Yeah.
Like, what starts happening?
Yeah.
Do you phone Howard and say, yo, bro?
Howard phoned me. Howard phoned me. He's like, bro, when do we go to Dubai?
Yeah.
He's ready to party. No, I think at that point it was like, okay, we got something really good here. My whole thing was like, okay, it's happening, right? Let's make sure that we have a plan of attack and we do the best we can with the opportunity that we have. Like, as things were growing, my thing was like, you know, how do we maximize the opportunity? I come from a bit of a marketing background from before I was doing music, or I guess kind of during I was doing music. But my whole thing was, okay, at the early stages of when it was becoming an international hit, I was like, how do we make this the biggest moment for not only this song, but also for our culture, for our community, right? Because my whole thing always, even before I had Jalebi Baby or Young Shahrukh, was like, when are we going to have something kind of like Punjabi MC and Beware the Boys? When do we have that again? And when do we have that on a more consistent basis, right? Yeah. Who's going to be the guy to do it? I always thought it was going to be somebody else. I thought it was going to be, maybe Diljit was going to do something, or Mickey Singh was going to do something, or somebody was going to do something that was going to push us into the mainstream. And like, that did happen. You know, there were songs, you know, they had like, Shera Di Com with Ludacris, and they had like Sing Is King with Snoop Dogg, or Chamak Chalo in Bollywood, Jai Ho with A.R. Rahman. A lot of things did happen, but I was like, how do we have something that is like, it's not, those were a lot of things that were rooted in the South Asian community, and they had the international flair, and it was like, whoa, we got like Snoop Dogg on a song, but it wasn't anybody who was a fan of Snoop Dogg being like, oh, I'm listening to Sing Is King because it's a Snoop Dogg song. You know what I mean?
No one,
And so that was my whole thing, was that like, because the thing with Beware of the Boys was that they just play that song in the club if there's brown people there or not.
Sometimes there's a novelty.
Right? It's just like sometimes they'll do it because there's brown people in the club, but sometimes they'll just play the song because it's a good song. And that's what I wanted to have, was like a song that like, it doesn't matter if there's a Desi element to it or not. It's just a song that everybody loves and plays. Right? Similar to how the Latin community is done, right? Mi Gente is getting played whether there's a Spanish speaker in the club or not, because the song is good.
Bangs.
Right? So long story short, I was like, I think that this song might have that element to it. That's why it's working so far in places where people don't even speak the language, and it's working. Because at this point, of course, it's the Hindi version, it's the Hindi Punjabi version that's working. So I'm like, how do we create the biggest moment? And at that point, every record label in the world is reaching out. Every major is reaching out. Everyone's giving me different offers.
Oh, wow.
Different collaborators are coming, wanting to be a part of the song. And I'm just holding out because I have the vision in my mind. And I just don't want to settle for anything less, because I believe that it's possible with this song. Right? And like, everyone's kind of telling me.
It's a brave deal. Like, can I don't know if I'm all right to say this, but you're 26 years old?
Yeah.
20. So you've, I can say this, I'm a lot older. You're young, you're a lot younger, but you seem to have a very level head. I mean, I would imagine if I get a record company like Sony or Capitol coming up to me, or just anyone, even a label that's probably released a song 20 years ago, I'd be so gassed or excited to sign with someone and turn around to my friends, phone up Howard and be like, yo, bro, I'm signed a deal.
Yeah.
How would you stay so confident to hold back and say no to people?
a lot of it is just, I think, the time that I've had in this game watching it. I've just watched the hip hop industry intently since like 2008. Like I'm the guy every day after school, after I got home from school, I would just look at all the new songs coming out. I would read up on all the news and just watching how this industry's been moving, right? We were at a place, now and a year ago where the primary driver of new music to the industry was TikTok and Instagram Reels, right? If a record label has a song, they don't have any power to make it hot. Their power to make it hot is tell the artist to get on social and you make videos and you make it hot. And technically, there's the label, like you don't need a label to do that. You can do that yourself, right? It's become such a decentralized thing, right? The label comes in to help with a lot of it's just financing. I had a vision for a big music video. I had a vision for radio play and all that kind of stuff. And for that, I was like, okay, that's where the label can help me. So a lot of it was who can give me the best deal and can align with what my goals are. Because the song is a hit and I've done it. Like out of my basement, I've created a hit song. Everybody knows it around the world. It's gaining popularity. I don't need a record label to just say, okay, now this song is on X label. So, that you like maybe you'll put it on a billboard here or there, but like your power is essentially the same as my power at this point.
So what was the driving force to sign with Capitol?
So we just saw eye to eye on what we wanted to do. I told them, I was like, as I'm telling you, I wanted to make this a big moment, not only for just the song of the summer, but hopefully, and time will tell, but something that will hopefully be remembered as a moment where East and West really did come together. And a big part of me, knowing our people, knowing the way we consume media, we're very visual people. We like to see it on screen. So I'm like, we need a music video. And if we're going to do this music video, we're going to have it as it needs to be where I'm just channeling all the times I've been to hall parties and a little Bollywood influences in there. Obviously, we can't do Bollywood, right? If we try to do Bollywood, it's not going to look good. So I tried to go for was a little bit of a hybrid, because I am a hybrid, right? So a mix of just like kind of the Western and the Eastern, and kind of channeling that hall party vibe. And the biggest thing I wanted to do is people need to see me and Jason Derulo together dancing. That needs to happen. That's is what's going to make this record. That's what's going to make that video iconic. Because we never saw Jay-Z and Punjabi MC together. We never saw it. But
the visual aspect.
And we need, because it's a powerful thing. It's inspiring, right? And so to go back to why I did the deal with Capitol is that I explained to them what I saw, and they're like, we see what you're saying, and that was kind of it. We were just jiving well with what I wanted to do, and also my plans for the future as well.
Okay, so there's more things to come, more with Capitol.
Hopefully,
touch wood as well. Now releasing Jalebi Baby, that's massive. Is there ever been a fact where you've thought of doing novelty things? Like we've talked about, festivals are coming. Have you ever done spoofs or jokes? Would you follow it up with another food item? Would it would it be a cultural reference? Because the word culture comes up a lot with you. And I'll go back to that because I'm guessing where you grew up, I believe there wasn't a massive Asian community.
Not huge, no.
Right. Okay. So this is why this culture word is quite important to you.
Yeah.
So where are you going to go next from that if you are looking to pull the culture back in? How bigger can you go?
For sure. I mean, it's always an interesting thing being a South Asian act, trying to go into mainstream pop music. There's definitely a lot of ceilings sometimes. Like this artist I really admire, her name is Ravina, who's also like a mainstream kind of pop artist. She recently was just on Twitter. She was talking about, it's interesting because sometimes the looks that South Asian artists will get will be like, we'll make a song that is like completely in English and meant for like a pop, the pop world, but they'll put us on Asian playlists, and we'll only get looks during like Asian Pacific Islander month and like Asian heritage months, and like they kind of put us into the Desi hub on Spotify. That's going to be a battle that we're still fighting. And with Jalebi Baby, that was really my aim, was like, how do we get to mainstream top 40, which we did. But speaking about how to bring the culture in, I think for me, I'm just going to continue to just make music that I think is dope. And just being who I am, there's always going to be some sort of aspect that I'm going to have to tie the culture into, because that's just how I make music. Like I'll probably make a song and there might be like an algoza in the back or like a tolki in the back, right? In the instrumentation, it might be there.
No, I really hope it does.
And maybe it comes in the lyrics.
Yeah.
There's always going to be some aspect just because that's who I am.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, I don't want to compare you to any other artists, but you know, like again for the UK, and I've speak the UK.
Yeah.
When Jay Sean went over to America, when he signed after the album came up, you know, we were very excited. But I think a lot of I can't say this without causing hate, but a lot of Asian fans dropped off because he didn't really take that Asian sound, that what we loved him. Like one of his biggest tunes for the Asian things fronting was Stomp, and he turned around and he's like, you know, you guys are scared of using the tabla in your bits, but Timbaland's using it.
Yeah.
And I think there was a bit of hate because in the UK, we'll love you a second, but if you turn your back on what you say, you'll be hated as well. I don't know how it is for the rest of the world. So how difficult is it to make those moves and make that familiar? Is it easier now with things going on? Like I know for the UK, we had Steel Bangles with Mist trying to get that sound in, but the language. But how difficult is it you on that global market now when you've had a hit with one of the biggest artists in the world?
Yeah, you know, of course, it's interesting because, you know, you want to, as an artist, you want to evolve and you want to make the music that you want to make and take risks. But of course, you have a fan base that likes you for what you've done. So I think, you know, you got to play the game a little bit. You know, I think, you know, you got to, especially, you know, at the point where, you know, you're a new artist or you're an artist that's recently crossing over into mainstream, trying to make those moves. You know, you can't completely just turn around and do a record that's not like anything else you've done. But you know, you just gotta find the sweet spot. There's not really an easy answer to something like that. You just gotta find the sweet spot. I think for me, it's interesting because like, it's like at one point I was mostly known in the southern United States by DJs at country bars for my country music, not brown people, right? Yeah. And then I was known mostly by brown people for doing Bollywood remixes. And then it was like, I would like do remixes of like Taylor Swift songs and like pop songs and Kanye West like rap songs. So like I've gone through the times of like I have fans from all over the place that like me for all different things. And that's why I feel a little bit comfortable that if I do something that's a little different, like when I made Young Shahrukh, everyone's like, "Oh, this is very different." But you know, there's fans of mine that will like that. Jalebi Baby, when I made Jalebi Baby right after Young Shahrukh, there's a lot of people like, "Oh, I thought he was kind of going in the more rap route." Right. But again, that's just who I am. The thing is, you know, as an artist, you just got to do what you feel is right. But of course, you have to pay attention to your fans as well. So, you know, even when I made Jalebi Baby, I was like, is there a tie to, can I draw a line from Young Shahrukh to Jalebi Baby? And I can, you know, because I'm still like kind of melodiously rapping. There's a bit of a Bollywood sense in there too. I'm just showing another side of Tesher. Now, if I turn around and do a completely country song, that might be tough, right? Yeah. At least at this point in my career, because I'm still kind of like, I'm the half South Asian and half Western kind of.
But you say that, but look at Old Town Road and Ramta Jogi, like the marry of those two is euphoric. Like I know when I go on a road trip, that's on my playlist for life.
For sure.
Do you know, like, so there are elements I think that's quite good, and it's very interesting. I know it's very difficult to keep going on from that as well. Is there a follow-up single on the way, or are we still?
Yes, 100%.
There is.
Yes, that's why I was so hesitant to come and do interviews while I was out here, because I have no new song to promote right now. But yeah, no, honestly, I feel like my music lends itself well to summer months. Because it's just so energetic. Right. So I feel like, you know, in the next couple of months, when it heats up in Canada, I don't know how the weather's going to be out here.
It's cold. It's cold. Yeah. It's cold out there at the moment as well. Apparently we're going to have snow tomorrow. Is that still happening?
Really?
Apparently. I saw.
I tried to get away from the snow.
Oh, you apparently brought it with us, with you man. As well. We had to get the old the old goose feathered coats back out and stuff as well.
The Canada goose. Yeah.
Can I wanted to ask now again with the family thing. Again, you were quite young, and I don't know if it's the same for you. There was always, for an Asian growing up with a family, there was always this thing like, are you going to make it through music? You know, can you make a career out of it? Now, when you're putting so much time, I think you come from a music called family.
Kind of. Nobody knows any instruments. We just like to dance a lot. We just dance and sing a lot.
I think I was a really good line and said everyone's a musician. No, but again, I think did your dad used to perform, or was he involved in something?
I mean, honestly, it was the year is 2004. He's in his basement making beats on GarageBand, making songs, and I'm on the other computer just playing video games, but being exposed to that. So very much, I feel like if if my dad grew up in this day and age, he probably would have made it the same way I made it. But unfortunately, he grew up in the 80s and didn't have the same resources. But yeah, no, it's very much so. My family's always been a very musical family. My dad was a Bhangra teacher, and he would sing and dance and perform and all that kind of stuff. My sister is a beautiful voice, and she is a dancer as well. My cousin is an actor.
Nice.
Yeah, check out Donkey Head on Netflix. It's my cousin's in a movie.
Oh,
yeah.
definitely check that out. Donkey Head, I think I saw. Oh,
Yeah.
definitely check that out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they actually filmed it in the city that I'm from, Regina, Saskatchewan, and it's filmed by it's directed by and starring Agam Darshi, who's a really talented South Asian actress.
we'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
So leading on to the next question, so am I correct in thinking your dad's or your family a big influence, or who is your biggest influence to keep doing what you're doing?
I think for sure, my dad was an influence for sure, but I couldn't even tell you what my influence is, man.
Well, even on day to day, how do you take things in?
Yeah.
How did you come up with Jalebi?
I mean, it's just, you know what it is? I think it's just a sense of just being a little cheeky. I gotta say, as you would say, like when I made, Young Shahrukh, it was about I'm like, no one's ever name dropped Shah Rukh Khan in a song before, but I knew the power it would have. I don't know why no one's done it at that scale before. Maybe they're just like, oh, it's not cool to do it because it's like Bollywood and they're trying to be hard on a rap song. It's about like what I just love the most is just, doing, like, breaking the boundaries and doing things that people just haven't done before, right? How do I make a reggaeton Indian song that also has like Arabic influences in it?
Yeah.
I've got like a song that it's like on like that 6/8 rhythm that's like South Indian, ding, ga-chak, ding, ding, ga-chak, ding, ding, that, but it's also like kind of like an underlying bossa nova melody.
Right, yeah.
I've got like a rock song that has like Qawwali instruments in it. I just love to just do unique things.
Right.
I don't know where that comes from. I could not tell you, but that's my primary inspiration, is just to just, it's like, when you just hear like a really good song, you're like, wow, this is amazing. Or when you hear like a good remix and it's just like, wow, it's the juxtaposition of like, wow, those things coming together. I guess it's a bit of the DJ in me coming together too. It's like the wordplay and like just two songs that go together. It's like when you're in this it's the classic mix of All I Want for Christmas, like around Christmas time, you go to the club and the DJ plays Mariah Carey, and at the end of Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas, they'll go, all I want for Christmas is Soulja Boy. You
do that with Hotline
you know what I
Bling,
mean?
yeah.
That kind of stuff where it's like, oh, and the crowd just goes wild. It's those moments where it's like you get the crowd just thinking and stuff like that.
Yeah, that plays it up as well. That's absolutely amazing. You mentioned a bit earlier on about the single. Is there a time frame for when that's coming? You said summer.
Hopefully May.
Is there anything more you can tell us about that? Is there anything more you can tell us about
That's
that?
all I can tell you. That's all I can tell you. It's very active. It's energetic. It's fun.
Okay.
And it's hopefully coming out in May.
All right. May, yeah?
Yeah.
Not long to wait for that one as well.
Very, very soon. Yeah.
What's it like going back home, knowing you're so big right now? Like, can you go out to the shops?
Honestly, it's when I come back to like Regina in my home city, I'm just Hitesh. I'm just Hitesh. I'm just hanging out, and everyone just knows me from before. It's like honestly, Regina is almost like a little playground for us. You go to the bar, the bartender. You go to the club, everybody there. It's a nice place. But honestly, this summer I was in New York a lot this summer, and I'd be walking down the street, and I get stopped all the time for pictures and stuff. And I feel like it's like people more famous than me probably get stopped less. It's just because of the hair that I have. I feel like it's just I have a very recognizable look.
I must commend the hair. What is the hair care routine?
I mean, it's right now it's Bondi Blast shampoo.
Ooh.
Very good. It's an Australian brand. Shout out Bondi Blast.
Send him a
hit
package.
me up with the sponsorship. But I don't know. I think it's just mostly good jeans, I gotta say.
I love it. I'm serious. One thing I always look at you, I'm like, hair envy's real, bro.
Oh man,
I'm sitting
you gotta
there.
make a trip to Turkey.
Oh yeah, get it all sorted out there. Get the hairline sorted, definitely.
Yeah.
Also, Tesher, thank you very much for visiting us at Lyca Radio. I need to ask you, have you been looked after in London? Have you experienced any of the treats from London, like foods or?
Man, well, you tell me, what are the treats from London?
Well, I think we talked earlier on. You've been to Disham.
Yeah.
Right, you've been to Disham.
I've been to Disham. It was okay. That's all I'll say on that.
Have you tried chai wala here?
No. You know what's funny? So like my friend Yasser, who you may have met.
Yeah.
He said that there's a Jalebi Junction in South Hall.
There is. We should go.
I feel like I should go. I feel like I have to.
You should.
Yeah.
We can make that happen.
So that's a place I feel like I gotta hit up.
Right,
at
so
some
Jalebi
point.
Junction.
But no, honestly, I've been to Dishoom. I went to Marouche. Is that what it's called?
Marouche is popular.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
A lot of Pret a manger. We don't have that in Canada.
You don't have Pret there? No, but you have. Do you have Tim's?
And we got Tim Hortons. You guys have Tim Hortons out here?
No, well, there is one, I think, in Milton Keynes or something.
Okay. Honestly, no. I as you can tell by my voice, I've just been going every single day, not really eating and drinking the most. I've just been hustling one thing after the other.
Have you got is there family over here? The auntie's trying to say, come over.
So I got to see some family. Yeah, no, I
lovely.
have some. I got some family in Hounslow.
Oh,
Shout out my family in Hounslow.
Hounslow.
Yeah. And so I got to. It's funny. I haven't seen them since like literally 2003, 2004, and like I'm there and everyone's filing in, and there's like I'm holding a baby and I'm just looking at this baby. I'm like, how the hell am I related to? I had no idea for a while. I was like, whose baby is this? But it was all explained to me later. But no, it was good. I got the whole UK big family experience.
That's nice.
Too,
that you haven't met before and met.
Yeah. Well, I've some of them I have not met before, but most of them I met when I was very, very young.
That's cool. That's cool. Are there any things in London you want to try? Or go and see? Any sites you want to see?
I mean, I saw Buckingham Palace.
Was that beautiful?
It was cool. I heard she doesn't even live there anymore, though.
I don't know what she's doing these days.
Yeah, I don't know where she's at. But I saw that. I walked through Trafalgar Square. I guess that was cool.
Was that fun?
It was fun, I guess. It's just buildings and architecture and stuff. It's cool. I haven't seen the Kenty Big Ben. I haven't seen that yet.
I'm not too sure if you can still go up to see the actual bell.
Yeah, and I heard it's a scaffolding on it too.
Yeah.
You know what's actually really funny? So I went out on like the first Wednesday I was here. I was at Ministry of Sound, and that was really cool. First of all, you guys don't know what you have here. It's amazing that you guys can have these kind of nights where it's just a huge room full of all Desi people and it's like 3 a.m. in the morning. Our nights in Toronto end at 2 a.m. It's 2 a.m. Clubs close, go home. It's 3 a.m. It's like peaking and Say Shava Shava is playing. That song came out in 2000.
What are you trying to say about Shava Shava? Right?
No, it's a great song. No, that's what I'm saying. It's a great song, but it's like, and everyone's just singing that. I'm like, this is crazy. It's amazing what you guys have out here. It's incredible. But like, I was out there and the DJ dropped London Tamakda, and I'm just like, I love that this is you guys' anthem. It makes sense, obviously, it's because of the London thing. But I love that that's like, and he dropped it. They dropped like 3-4 times that night, God. And I loved it. And even when I was out last night, they dropped it. I was like, I love that that's like the song that gets everybody going.
Because they were mad.
Yeah, I had no idea. Yeah.
London. Oh no, that's awesome. Yeah. What is your favorite Bollywood song at the moment? What are you feeling?
Honestly, my go-to is Na 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 Re.
Good old Delhi.
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, because like that's my go-to. Like, so in Toronto, we don't really go out to the club because we just never get in. It's just too tough to get into the clubs out there.
You don't get into clubs?
Oh no, not at all. No,
still?
Never. Oh, absolutely not. They hate me out there. They listen. They see a brown face, they don't like that.
What?
Yeah. They're hella racist out there in Toronto. It's not good. Yeah, no. It's and like here's the thing. I'm also rolling deep. I've got like a bunch of girls with me. I got a bunch of guys with me. We come as a whole party, ready to have a good time. And they're like, you gotta buy a bottle. You gotta do this. And like you also gotta get there like 10 p.m. We're rolling through at like 11:30. It's not Toronto nightlife. Listen, hopefully I'll probably get skewered for saying this, but hey, I tried, and maybe I'm just not going to the right places. But here's what I do in Toronto. I have huge, crazy house parties. Whole house I got a nice place. Everyone comes in. It's great, and we have a great time. So we'll just play like. It always ends up being in my kitchen, and like na 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 is playing. We got every single race you could imagine going na 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 na. That's the song. It gets everybody going. Everyone's clapping. Everyone's like doing like people are dancing like they're in a Bollywood movie. Guys are like twirling girls around. It's the best thing ever.
I remember when that Tunuk one went mad.
Yeah,
on TikTok and stuff.
That's a good one too.
We need the na 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 na.
Yeah.
Would you ever do something with Delhi?
Of course, man. I love the Lyra
I'd
Baby.
love to see that.
Yeah, man. Honestly,
would love
everyone
to
asks
see
me like,
that.
who would you collaborate with? And everyone expects me to be like, oh, you know, like, I don't know who's like new, Arijit Singh, and like, I can't even think of anybody new in Bollywood right now. But like, they all expect me to say like new people, and I'm just like, man, I want to do a song with like Sukhwinder Singh.
Yeah.
Like just do a song with Sukhwinder Singh would be amazing. Or like have like Shreya Ghoshal on vocals, or like
she was mad.
you know, like Hariharan, even like those guys.
You're
Like,
dropping some names.
yeah, man.
Hariharan,
Yeah. Like that's the music that I was like raised on and stuff. And like coming from a remix background, the whole thing that I love to do is, you know, like I did with Ramta Jogi, is reimagine classics as something new. Not like the remakes get a bad rep, but like how do we take, you know, like those voices from not yesteryear, but like those classic voices, and then bring them into the new school with like newer production and stuff. Like I feel like Sukhwinder Singh can cut through any generation.
Yeah.
He just needs the right stuff, right? And here's the thing, he doesn't need it. I gotta say, I'm probably gonna get skewered for this. He doesn't need anything. He's a legend, but like it would be hella fun to get like kind of a new sound, like a trap-esque record with Sukhwinder Singh vocals on it. It would be amazing. If done right, it would be so cool.
Yeah, that'd be absolutely amazing. I mean, obviously you touched Sukhwinder Singh already with the thing.
It works. Yeah, it absolutely works, man.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see Hariharan, because his key is a lot lower than like the Sukhwinders and stuff as well. To make into a party track, that would be quite interesting.
Yeah, but that's the challenge. That's what I was saying. I love to do things. It's just like, you know, it's the challenge of how do you take something like that and then make it something else, right? It's. I mean, I got to gain the respect of these artists first to make sure that they're open to working with me, and like they're open to taking a chance to work with somebody who's trying to do experimental stuff. But we're getting there.
More life to you. I hope that's. Is there anyone you wouldn't work with, or you wouldn't touch? Not wouldn't work with, but wouldn't touch because they're just so amazing.
Oh,
there we go.
Oh man.
Or any songs that you think shouldn't be messed with.
You know, there's a lot of classic like Govinda records, I feel like, that are so like near and dear to me that when I see them being remade, I'm just like, please don't. Like they did a remake of Akhiyon Se Goli Mare, and it was so bad. I was like, man, I don't know how thirsty you guys are for a hit, but that's not it, man. Like some of the remakes I understand, like they work. Like Kala Chashma was good, you know. Like Dilbar was good, and they do some good stuff. But some of them were just like, like it's just, bro, you're just desecrating classics here, man. So I feel like, you know, like
got to phone up Sachin Jigar and be like, yo, let me try that one.
Like I hope they never do like a remake of Oy Makhna, and like
I think there's a version coming out of Makhna.
Please don't. Listen, if they do it, here's the thing, I will withhold judgment because maybe they do it right. Maybe they surprise me. Like I said, I'm also a guy who likes to delve into territory where people say you can't do that. Yeah. But you just run the risk, right? You run the risk. If you do it right, you're a superhero and you've done something amazing. But if you do it wrong, you're gonna get skewered, right? And you can't be afraid of getting absolutely just, you know, torn down if you're gonna do it. So it is what it is, I gotta say. I'm pretty sure the same guy did the Akhiyon Se Goli Mare remake, and he also did Kala Chashma and Dilbar. So, you know, kabhi hit, kabhi shit. It is what it is.
I like that. Kabhi hit, kabhi shit. Yeah. I'm using that. Govinda's actually releasing his own music as well. I don't know if you've followed it.
I heard some of it. Here's the thing. Listen, I love getting to the point of your career where you can just do whatever you want to do, because that's what every artist wants to do. I don't know if he's getting the best critical response on it, but here's the thing. He's Govinda, man. Yeah. Do whatever you want to do. Be happy. You've proved yourself. Just enjoy. You know, that's what my whole vibe is. It's like people would clown like Robert De Niro for doing like movies that they didn't think were like Godfather caliber. Bro, you can't tell Robert De Niro what to do. You know, he's made his money. He's earned his respect. He can do whatever he wants. So,
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
Enjoy your life.
So the final question of the day to right now: if someone asked you who is Tesher, what's the answer?
Tesher is just an artist who is trying to break through every imaginable ceiling and boundary and create great music for the entire world to enjoy, regardless of color, creed, or background.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
London's biggest Asian hits.